There we go, everything looks to be fine now.
Alright. Good to hear. Once again, no early pool out of our Zerg player. Looks like we can't get a short game.
Yep. Now, I mean, early pools are kind of frowned upon by most Zerg players, aren't they?
Yeah.
In this day and age. You get up to that supply depot wall and you just cry with your Zerglings and have nothing to do with them except grab watchtowers and dance.
That's true. You do have a lot of time to just spam /dance over and over again since you don't have to do anything else with your APM at that point.
Yep. You have not enough larvae to make anything, so...
Yep. I mean, you could try to make drones and play from there, but there's not really that much point at that point.
Yeah. So, both players opening pretty standard so far. No gas before spawning pool or any shenanigans. Probably just going to see a 14 pool. Actually, more likely a 15 hatch.
Yep.
Especially on daybreak.
Indeed. There's not a lot that can just automatically win against a 15 hatch, really.
Mm-hmm. Even 2 racks pressure can be held off.
Worst case, you scout it out and you don't build drones between your hatch and your spawning pool, and then you're just pretty much good to go.
Mm-hmm. Possibly the 2 racks SCV all in.
That can do damage, yeah.
That could be a possibility to counter the 15 hatch, but otherwise... I think it still leaves...
Don't have anything like that. Looks like it's just going to be a 1 rack expand.
Mm-hmm.
4 gas. Really common build on maps, especially like this.
Zerg could even go up and check out the main if you wanted to.
Looks like he's just going to harass this SCV a little bit, but I would be really surprised if it did as much damage this time as it did last time.
Yeah.
So he's just going to be content with
blocking that
for a
command
little
center.
while, and then leaving.
There's always that moment when you get like really tired playing as Protoss, and you played a lot of Protoss versus Zergs that night, and you know, you throw a pylon down to block the Terran's expansion, and then he just throws down the command center right next to the pylon, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to prevent a Terran from making another base if they actually want to do it.
Yeah. So, Natural's up for the Zerg. Probably going to get just enough gas for that speed, and we'll see if he stays on the gas or keeps pulling it up.
Looks like he's staying on for at least a little while.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, there we go.
Right at the last second, he says, no casters, you're wrong.
Well, that's the easiest way to spur a player to action, right, is to tell everyone what they're doing.
Yep.
Because then they're guaranteed to change it.
I like this bunker placement.
That is a really hard spot to hit.
I think I've seen DeMuslim use this exclusively on, you know, really not even this map, but just kind of behind the main ramp. Between the main right there is usually a pretty common spot for high-level Terrans to throw that bunker.
Yeah, it's just a really well-protected spot. It's not very vulnerable to melee. You have to really want it to commit to killing it with, like, banelings or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't help you get to your goal, it just makes it so that you can get to your goal without dying first. But we're going to have a triple command center build from Killer. He did take double gases, so we'll probably see a factory and then a starport go up and get 1 Banshee, maybe 2, with or without cloak. Doesn't really make too much difference. That way he's safe against any all-ins, and he can do a little bit of counter pressure of his own.
Yep. Grabbing a 2nd gas for the Zerg player and a 3rd. Right on top of those injects.
Yep. And getting a 3rd queen, so he can make sure he gets his creep spread going nice and proper. The SCV's going to scout that there's no early 3rd base out of drone, and he may even be able to scout... Nope. I wasn't looking at the SCV's health. That's what I get. Won't be able to scout the early layer going up at the natural for drone. It's kind of interesting that he chose to put it at the natural. That used to be something Zerg players would choose to do because it had more health, so it was more hardy against any types of all-ins that were coming, but I would not venture to say that's why Chad put it there, so I don't know.
You never know. Lots of weird things a player could think in the middle of a game.
Wow, a third bunker going down for Killer. He's really nervous about this two-base play, and it's going to be a two-base Spire, so kind of a 2010-2011 build out of Drone here.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Killer does have a third command center, so you know he's probably pretty comfortable sitting on these two bases for a while. He knows he has these 3 SCV production at the same time, so he does need an. He does have an eBay though, right? That would be awful if he got caught off guard by Muta with no eBay.
Nope.
No.
He does not have an eBay, and there's not one in production. But he has been making continuous Marines, so worst case, this is going to kind of pin him in his base a little bit. But we do have the same kind of Marauder Marine production out of Killer as we had last time, just with delayed tech for some reason. I'm really not sure why he delayed his factory so much. He could afford it for quite some time, and now 2 engineering bays going down.
Yep, there we go.
So it's going to be a really good timing to deny these mutas.
It's really cutting it close though. The Spire is right about to finish, then you have the morph time and travel time that's like barely enough time to get turrets up.
Yep.
So he either did that on purpose and is one of the best Terrans I've ever seen, or just remembered, oh yeah, I need to get eBays.
Isn't that always a great thing? You'd be watching like MVP or the Muslim playing a TVZ, and the mutas would be on their way to the base. You'd be like, oh no, they're not ready. And then as soon as the mutas are there, the things are finishing.
Yep, Hero does that a lot where, you know, you'll see the big Zerg army moving out across the map and, you know, the caster looks over at the Protoss base and you're like, oh, Hero's dead, and then they finally get there and Hero lives and you're just like, what happened? And he wins.
The things the pros can do.
Things they do.
So it looks like Drone just wants to make sure that Killer isn't able to safely take his third base for a while. I would be kind of surprised if he actually pushed in and committed to trying to attack in here, unless Killer does something like he did last game and throws away his whole army for not much return. But he's doing a good thing with these 4 Marines just scouting down there to see if it's safe to take it. And when they die, he's going to realize, no, it's not really safe to take it right now. But there are no missile turrets and there's nothing in the main, so if Killer moves down to try to clear out those Zerglings and take his third, he's going to be in trouble, but he doesn't do it, so he's going to be able to respond to these mutas now. It's a longer delay than I think would have been.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's going to respond to these mutas now. Okay, now. Killer, what are you doing? No, but he does get those SCVs right back to work, which is very good. Bunch of Lings waiting into the third, so even if he wanted to expand, probably be thwarted.
Yep. It's a little bit too bad that Drone didn't have some Banelings pre-morphed and ready to go at the front there, because Killer has this propensity to move his entire army all at once. Oh, and Drone's going to hit that really nice timing where the missile turrets are... No, he stopped halfway. He was moving in, he had it. But he's going to be just a little late now, and those missile turrets are going to finish, and he's not really going to be able to get much done.
Yeah, he could have killed all his SCVs, but now he says, no, thank you.
3 missile turrets are pretty good.
Wow, a lot of missile turrets. Especially for Bio, you know, you normally see this many missile turrets when you see mech.
Yeah.
But with Bio, you usually have the Marines, you know, sticking around the main to kind of help out, but...
Oh, free medevac? No.
Nope.
If he'd focused on the other one, he would have got it, but he got a little bit greedy and tried to get both of them. Missile turret's going to try again. Are the mutas going to be able to swing back in there? They do this to me. They keep doing that to me.
He's going to have to... Oh, he's bringing all the Marines to clear this down.
Ooh, he's going to get there as the Banelings are morphing, so he's going to be able to take his third safely. Drone is going to have to cancel those Banelings or else he'll just lose them all. So he cancels them and runs away, but that went a lot better for Killer than it otherwise would have if Drone had just been a little bit earlier with morphing those Banelings.
Yep. And no burrow for our Zerg player, so he can't even burrow laying down there to be annoying.
We do have transitions going on, though Pathogen Glands just finished up. We've got some Infestors coming out, and the Hive is almost done as Drone takes his 4th base.
We'll see if he has a greater Spire in mind. Most likely is going to be the case.
Indeed. This is a good enough map for Broodlords.